Tim Black. Tim Black.
Yeah.
Yes, I am. Truth. Funny. Tim Black. I am TimBlack.com. Tim Black.
Okay, everything's fine.
Did somebody send that in to you?
We're live now. We're on the air. They can hear you. All right, guys, welcome. Welcome. It's a little loud. All right, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, you're tuned in to Tim Black. This is an edition of Tim Black at Night that we had to do. A little change of plans. I want to welcome all my people from Blog Talk Radio over to my YouTube channel. As you know, you can get this on Stitcher as well as you can get it on iTunes. It's available in podcast formats. If you would like to get the video, come on over to YouTube. IamTimBlack.com is the easiest way to get to it. You'll see live streaming. I do this every day. Guys, it's a tough subject right here. What we have is a shooting, as you all know. I'm going to be streaming on multiple platforms, including Meerkat. I got my son to sit in. Hey, son.
Hey, Dad.
He's actually back there. First time he sat in for a show, actually.
I'm not recording.
There you go. All right, I don't want to repeat too much, so I want to do it one time. I got 10 minutes. Let me go to my chat room and see who my people are. Let's start off by doing that. Let me go say hello to everybody. Hey, Joy Green, how you doing? Good to see you, Joy Green. Best EDM today. What's up? All right. That's good, guys. Keep me, you know, I'm going to need your help to stay a little, not to take this so hard, man. Whenever there's a terrorist shooting, anything of that nature, it kind of hits me hard, man. As it does, I'm sure, a lot of you. Chris Powers, what's up, my friend? Evian Wiggins, what's up, guy? All right, what's up? Yeah, we're just getting started. 9:15, I'm gonna go shoot to run with Meerkat. I guess we could say it, man. Let me just update you a little bit on what we know right now. Right now, actually, I'm gonna be live. What's up, Joshua? And Mr. Blackhearted Soul, Sean B. Yeah, weed does need to be legalized, Sean B. What's up, Sean? I recognize you. That'd be a good thing to do right now. What we now know is 10 people were killed today in Oregon at the Umqua Community College in Oregon. What I'm waiting on to find is more information about the gunman. We know there was a gunman who was killed. We don't know. We know his age. We know he's a 20-year-old man, which is kind of strange. We know the age of the man, but we don't know if he's a citizen. We know nothing else, right? He opened fire in the school. That we do know. Officers and the gunman exchanged fire at the Roseburg campus. The shooter was a 20-year-old man, according to Governor Kate Brown. He is deceased. We know that a number of other people were shot besides the gunman, and besides the fatalities, there are other people that were wounded and are being treated. I don't know the number for that. All right, I tried to get as much information as I could before starting the show, but stuff is sketchy. Stuff is sketchy, frankly. I know Obama went on he made a press conference. He made an appearance where he talked about the shooting. And you can see he was visibly pissed off. Which, it's got to be tough. I mean, to be the guy that has to go in front of people and talk about it. But no, I can go. It's tough for me to talk about it, but at least I'm not responsible for fixing it. So it's a little bit different when I talk about it. So yeah, like me talking about it it ain't really the same thing. You know, it'd be nice if I had answers, but I don't have to have them for people to sleep at night. It'd be nice if I did. Right? If you want, well, no, we'll wait. What do you guys think? Let's start off with that. What do you guys think? I have my own thoughts right now. Yeah, we're talking about the poor people that died today at the college. Now it's 13, 20 injured. That's what you heard on CBS. Joshua says 13 dead and 20 wounded is being reported by CBS, which is an update to what I got from CNN just a half an hour ago. That's a lot of people, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of people. I don't want to bore you with statistics, but hell, we need some, right? Over 3,100 people have been killed by Muslims in America in 75 terror attacks. Now, this information is from the religionofpeace.com, which appeared to be a website that don't like the Muslims too much. So I'm pretty sure I'm not sure if he was a radical Muslim or not. We're just going to go with radical Muslim would be the way they would go. But even if they're off by a little bit, that's still a lot of people. But that's from all the way back from 1972. So 3,100 people since 1972 have been killed by radical Muslims or pissed off Muslims in the United States. The most recent being July 16, 2015, a devout Muslim staged a suicide attack on a recruiting center. Maybe some of you remember that. That happened in Tennessee just over the summer. Okay. We got numbers. Does that change anything for us? I don't think it does. I don't think it changes anything. Does that make us more appalled? Does that make us more upset? Knowing that there's a track record of this? And, I was looking at this situation, and it really is bringing a lot to my attention, a lot to mind. There's a lot of analogies, a lot that we could say, a lot of comparisons. I don't know if we want to go apples and oranges. So, I've got some stuff that's going to be kind of biting. I hope that you'll still be cool with your man Tim Black after this show today, because we're going to have to put some things right in the face of some people today. But I want to wait till my Meerkat people come on in another few minutes before we really start hitting them up. They haven't released, typically they release the name of the shooter pretty quickly. So the fact that they've been holding back releasing the name, that's got a lot of people antsy. It's not helping. You go on Twitter, you see people saying, well, don't release names ever. You don't want to encourage lunatics, but I don't think that you encourage lunatics. People who kill in this way, I think they do it for a number of reasons, not just to become famous. Okay? A lot of reasons, not just to become famous. Wow. You know what? I'm going to jump over here. I don't want to go too far down the road. Let me continue to call my people out. We got a couple more minutes, guys. Hey, Kroom, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Thank you for your compliments on the show. Mr. Young Justice. Hey, Tim, hope you had a good day prior to that news. It was pretty good. Yeah, I got my workout in, so that's good. I had to do P90X in the house. I couldn't get out because we had some rain here in D.C. Well, D.C., Maryland. It was that cold rain, you know what I mean? The kind of rain that you get down the back of your neck, and that kind like that cold rain, boy. So, brother, I just went on and stayed inside and did a P90X workout that really was grueling, but it got the job done. Damon, what's up, Damon Bivens? Good to see you, man. Yeah, if you're out there watching, go ahead and add your comment to the chat so I can at least shout you out. I ain't gonna put you on the spot too much. I just like to know my people. I'm a small enough channel where I can know people who subscribe to me. Like I tell folks, man, this ain't just about me, it's about we. That's the difference about this channel and what we do here, particularly on the Speak On It group on Facebook. You know what I mean? You get to speak out. You get to add your voice. You get to tell me what topics you want us to talk about. You can call in and make this show just as much yours as it is mine. TJ, you want to close that door just in case? I have my oldest son here. I don't want my youngest coming in. Like, hey, Dad, could you do the thing with the thing? Could you change the channel? Could you put the code in? Because we had the TV locked down so he can only watch certain stuff. Wow. All right, come on now. 3 minutes. You know what? Let's just go now. Do it live. Hit stream. Welcome. Let me know when we're live on Meerkat so I can welcome them in. We can get going, man. I don't want to lose my people here. My people, they're waiting around. We good? All right. And you can... All right, Meerkat. Hey, Meerkat, how you doing? It's your man, Tim Black. I am also streaming on YouTube. This video will also be available as a podcast on Stitcher and on iTunes. Tonight's topic, as you can see in the title here, is the shooting that took place in Oregon. All right? So, TJ, if you need to pan in, you can do that, but I'm just going to go this way, and you just do what you do. All right? It's up to you. You're the camera guy. All right, guys. Look, you know what? The fact that I got to sit here and think about the Muslim attacks, and everybody's waiting to see if this guy's a Muslim, which he could be. He could very well be a Muslim. He could be. But he is more than likely not a Muslim. And even if he was a Muslim, the numbers are staggering. The number of deaths and shootings and terrorist acts by Americans on American soil. I mean, come on, man. Let's just put it this way. If you were going on a date with a Muslim attacker and you wanted to date a Muslim terrorist who did damage here in America, you'd have to sift through 100,000 people. You'd probably have to sift through maybe 300, I don't know. Because remember, the vast bulk of terroristic killings that happened in American soil were 9/11. Like 70% of the deaths. But that's not the case when it comes to domestic terrorism, right? Domestic terrorism has taken way more lives. So the fact that I'm sitting around waiting to find out if this guy's Muslim bothers me. But you know what? I am waiting. Man. I got to admit, I'm waiting. See, I don't want to be one of these guys, because I'm a conservative liberal or a liberal conservative. But I'm not a bullshitter. Of course I'm waiting to find out. And of course I would be upset if I found out he's an ISIS member or a member of Al-Qaeda. But like I said, most likely he's not. But then again, does it even matter, guys? Does it matter what his denomination is, what his affiliation is? We got 13 dead people, as my man just told us. I think it was Joshua who gave me that information. CBS is reporting that. 20 people injured. Do you think they care who killed them? You think they give a flying fuck if that person prayed to Allah or prayed to Jehovah or prayed to snakes? Who gives a shit? We got dead people. So Obama came out and he does what he does in these situations. He talked about gun control. Talking about gun control in the United States is like talking to rocks and gravel. Don't nobody want to hear that, man. Ain't nobody got time for that. But what we do have time to do is bury more people. Look, man. The NRA is a company. They make money off selling guns. They put out information to persuade you to what? Think that everybody wants to take your gun. So even if I say, hey, man, we just need very light restrictions because we would like to find out Let's find out if they help. Now, I know people are going to say, Tim, no, Tim, it wouldn't help. This was a gun-free zone, and criminals don't give a fuck about laws. That's why they're criminals. Duh. Well, here's the thing, dude. Here's the thing. If we had tighter gun restrictions, maybe less people would buy guns, meaning less criminals would be able to fucking steal them. But that's totally unrelated to this event, in my opinion. It's just that whenever this happens, whenever there's a terrorist act, we start thinking about this shit. That's all. See, I'm not so clouded in judgment to think that Obama uses this as an opportunity to further his agenda of slowing down gun sales. But that don't mean he's wrong, though. Does that mean he's wrong just because he's using this as an opportunity? I mean, come on. Come on. If you left the door open one day and that's when the bugs flew in, and then I see bugs flying around my damn house, and I say, hey, see what happens when you leave the door open? Did I create the situation? Or did I just use this as a learning moment? Think, people, think. You know, some people just jump on Twitter, start fucking typing, talking about Obama as an asshole. He's using this to politicize his agenda. What, my analogy I just gave you wasn't good enough? When the shit happens is the time people will pay attention to whatever you're talking about. But what difference does it make? Is it like people gonna actually do anything? I mean, come on. We had elementary school kids killed, and you still didn't want to add any fucking restrictions to guns. Nope. Tim, there's already restrictions to guns. Yeah, you're right. In some states, there are a lot more. Some states are tighter than others. I agree. What do we do? 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 That's the question you need to be asking yourself. Or you could just pretend that you could have been at the high school or the community center, I'm sorry. This time, at least they were college educated or college age. At least they got to have their first date, hopefully. Maybe some of them didn't die virgins. Maybe some of them drove cars before, right? I mean, this time. What about next time? See, all the people who are complaining about Obama, talking about this, and who complain about the liberal standpoint or the Democratic standpoint on these issues, for the most part, they don't have any fucking solutions either. They just go, this is not the solution. Okay, do you have another suggestion? What's your other suggestion? Give me something, people. Call in. Give me something. If you are a supporter of gun rights and you say, no, we don't want any restrictions on our guns, okay, what's your suggestion we do about these mass shootings? We got to do something. And if I'm wrong and you're right, tell me why I'm wrong. I can be wrong sometimes. I don't think I am, but hey, I could be wrong. I'm not saying it's the gun laws that cause this. I'm not saying it's Muslims that cause this. And no, I'm not an Islamophobe to think if they did, I'll be pissed about it. We got to keep it real. But all these people been focusing on Ahmed Mohammed's fucking clock as if he is the boogeyman and he represents all of the boogie people. You just better hope this comes back as fucking Ahmed's cousin. Because if this comes back as Jethro, well, maybe that's what they're waiting to do. Maybe that's why they haven't released it. I'm going to go to my phone lines for a minute, see if anybody's over there. Give me some cohesiveness to my thought process. Maybe I'm a little emotional right now. Hey, you're on live with Tim Black. Who's this?
This is Joy. Hi, Mr. Black.
Hey, Joy, my bad. How you doing, lady? Thank you for calling. You can kind of rein me in a little bit, Joy. What are you thinking right now about this? Let
me first say rest in peace to all of those who lost their lives.
Right.
And I hope that the ones who were injured, that they get help, that they heal properly, and support people on. As far as the gun laws go, I have a gun. I'm in the security field. I carry a weapon. It's also a hobby for me. Now, before you take my weapon, my service weapon, first and foremost, coming from the standpoint of a black woman in the United States of America, I would rather you did what they did over in London and Great Britain. I would rather you take the guns and the tasers from the officers and then you train them with their nightsticks, so forth and so on.
I hear you. What,
Yes,
you gonna
okay,
get in the
and I will
shootout? You
also-
gonna Joy? You gonna get in the shootout with the
Yes.
cops? She said yes.
Oh, no, I'm not going to get in a shootout with the cops, but I know if they're kicking down your door now and you could possibly have a weapon in your house, can you imagine what some of these people would do if the people did not have any kind of protection? Because criminals don't abide by laws, and it's looking like now officers don't abide by the law either. So you want to take the weapons from folks for the most part, because I guarantee whether this gentleman was able to get a gun legally or not get it legally, he was going to get himself a gun one way or the other. Sort of like the guy who shot himself in the penis. He wasn't abiding by laws.
4 guns will be covered at the scene. That's what I know about the guns. I don't know what kind of guns they were, if they were automatic, if they were registered. He could have legally got these guns. I don't know.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So
I also feel. I'm sorry, sir. Go ahead.
no, go ahead. Like I said, I don't know if they're illegally purchased guns or not. So, but go ahead, keep going.
Yeah, and I also feel like as long as society in the U.S. is the way it is, maybe some of these people are getting guns because there's a bit of prejudice, and so we're not taking the time to do the background check. We're sort of looking at the guy and saying, you look all right to me due to a certain type of look, and we're going to go ahead and slide you this gun anyway. Oh, yes, because they checked me up and down and then checked again.
Wow. Interesting. You had to jump through a couple of hoops to get yours, huh?
Oh, yes, sir. Even though I had my armed license to carry. But again, they check all of that. They check everything and then they check it again. And if you're in a rush, too bad, so sad. There was no 3-day window for me. It took a lot longer than 3 days.
Wow.
I'm just going to say that.
Wow.
So I think as long as the playing field is not level, as long as there are prejudice and racism in society, I mean, with Dylan Ruth had a drug offense. He had stuff on his rep, and they passed this young boy the gun any damn way. Now, why did they do that? Why did they look at old Dylan and say, here you go, Dylan?
Interesting. All right, Joy.
Thank you, sir. Taking my call.
All right, lady. Joy brings up a good point. If the cops got guns, I need to protect myself from cops. I may be in a situation. And the fact that people could have guns, maybe that is a deterrent. I don't know, Joy. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't think cops give a flying fuck what you got. They assume you have a gun whether you have one or not. Isn't that the problem? That's what I thought the problem was. They don't care if you have one. They just assume you have one. You know, that's the deal. At least that's how I envision it. I could be wrong, man. I got a guy who's been waiting for a while. Could be a lady. I'm not sure. Hey, I'm Tim Black. You on live? Who's this?
Hey, it's Ricky. This is Ricky.
Hey, Ricky, how you doing? What do you think about Oregon?
Pretty good. I don't know. It's pretty sketchy because next year I'm moving up there, and I just for the thought about it. If you said Muslim or not, like It's the fact that he still kills people. It could be, it could be a white, it could be Asian, it could be Muslim, it could be black, it could be any kind of race. But he matter there is, he still shot someone, still killed all these people.
Right. Right.
So
What
it kind of dawned on me, like, what's up with all these shootings nowadays? I mean, you look 10 years, 20 years back, and there's not even a shooting. People are shooting all these animals and stuff and having fun with them. Now they're turning it around and killing their own species,
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
What is the human race going to now,
I don't know, man. I don't know. I honestly do not know.
It started with the Sandy Shores school shooting, wherever that was.
Sandy
and
Hook.
It went to, like, the Batman theater thing, shot up all the people, killed themselves.
Right.
And then different schools. I mean, there's a school next to me that got 2 times bomb threatened. Someone posted on Twitter, "Oh, I'm gonna blow the school up. I'm gonna blow the school up twice."
Right.
It's really, really not something to play around with. I mean, for crying out loud, you go to school now, and you have just lockdown. All these lockdown drills is so serious nowadays.
You're right. You're
So
right.
serious.
It's just getting worse.
You can't just post something on Twitter like, "Oh, I hate that school. Like, I'm gonna shoot that school up with a paintball gun." You can't just say that because they're gonna believe you as a real gun. They're gonna,
Right. And
Like,
this is
someone in class, like last year, I believe it was, he said, "I'm going to shoot the school up." And next thing you know, he was expelled.
what do you think about guns, Eric?
I honestly, I like guns. I mean, I'm Native American, I hunt, I'm an outdoors person, but I use it for hunting, I use it for range, and I don't use it for, I don't turn around and go killing people and just
Hope
doing
not.
stupid stuff with it,
Right. Do you think that gun laws need to be stricter, or do you think this is just a psychological problem? A person who would take a gun and shoot up people in a school, that's a sick individual on at least some level.
It's a psychological thing, I think. Because there's many people out there that hunt with those guns, and Obama's trying to take these guns away from them. Not a lot of people are happy,
Right. All right, now, thank you for calling in, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling in, man. Call back later. The subject's going to stay up, but let me keep it moving, man. Good points. What's going on with the human species? What's going on with people? Why are people shooting now? Why are people so volatile? Why is this happening? I mean, these are all questions. I mean, I don't know the answer, This guy, we're going to comb through his background. We're going to look and see what we can find out, but more than likely, we're not going to find out anything. You hear me, Meerkat? We're not going to find out anything. How many people on Meerkat? Anybody?
Got 11 people here now, 35 people in total.
Okay. So we have no idea. Let me go to another call. Hey, you live with Tim Black. Who's this?
And all this is due.
All right. Hey, you live with Tim Black. Who's this?
Huh?
Hey, you on live with Tim Black. Who's this?
Oh. This is Julio.
Hey, Julio. What's up, my friend?
Nothing much, Tim. I'd just like to say, first of all, rest in peace to all the people that died. I hope the people who are injured to have a speedy recovery, and my condolences to the people, to the families that these people, lost. To your point with, whether it's psychological or the gun, I like to think it's a little of both, to be honest.
Okay.
You could see that, obviously it takes a certain individual to be able to go to a school and start shooting people up.
Yeah.
And I would even say that maybe that sometimes it could be very simple to get weapons, and maybe we're not doing enough to make sure that these people are able to get weapons.
Joy brought up a good topic, or a good argument to that it's society that has these issues. And whether you have a gun or not, you personally, that doesn't change your neighbor's psychological. So if you own guns, you may own them for protection from people who are nuts. And do you want to turn over that protection and put yourself in a more vulnerable situation.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So I look at it that way. I'm looking at it that way, but I'm also looking at it your way. I think you're leaning more to we need more regulations.
Well, I just look at other countries. It seems like we deal with this a lot more than a lot of other countries around the world. Australia had this really strict gun laws, and pretty much their shootings have decreased to almost none at all. So I think maybe we should start looking towards, looking at other countries with this sort of thing, because they seem to have some sort of control over this.
Right.
Those are just my 2 cents.
It's good. It's good. When we look at Australia, we look at other Western countries. You're right, man. We we're on another grid. Like, we're off the charts compared to France. We're off the charts compared to these guys. But Americans think we're so different. I'm like, can we look at other countries and say, hey, can we do what they did? Like if you come into, for instance, if you own a restaurant now, and I own a restaurant, and you're selling like hotcakes over there, if I want to, and I'm not selling so good, can I look at your restaurant and say, maybe I should get some tips from that restaurant? I mean, we're both restaurants. But for some reason, when we look at America and we look at other countries and say, hey, well, can we get some tips from Australia, how they do their gun control, things that work in Australia? People go, fuck no, America's different. I'm like, well, it's a country. Well, we got more people, or we have less people, or we have a different culture, or we have different police. People start throwing in all these things that cloud the fucking issue, and I'm like, okay, so since we can't look at any other country, and we're so special, because we have all these freedoms, what about the fact these freedoms are killing? Right. We're dying. We're fucking dying. We're dying in Chicago. Forget, you know what? Once again, my bad, guys. You reminded me. Condolences to the people. Everyone hurt. All the family members in Oregon. I don't mean to do a rant on your call, but I gotta say this, dude. We're dying.
No, it's okay, man. I'm totally cool with it.
We're dying constantly. We're dying in numbers. Well, there'll be 13 more murders probably in Chicago tonight to match the 13 in Oregon. Let's get the guns out of Chicago. Let's get the guns out of D.C. Let's get the guns out of Detroit. Let's do that. But you need a gun because people have guns in Detroit, Tim. The fuck are you talking about, Tim? So it's like I get hit either way and I relate either way. But okay, I'm gonna back up a little bit right now. Thank you for your call.
I actually had a question for you, Tim.
Now go ahead, please.
You mentioned Obama, and I was wondering, Obama, I think, has dealt with like the most mass shootings in a presidency, hasn't he?
He has.
So yeah, I'd be pretty pissed too.
He has. And they blame him for it.
Yeah.
They blame him for the shootings, but they won't let him pass anything for his vision of what would help. They won't let him pass shit for his vision. That's gotta suck. That's why I say, man, look, man, on another side note, that's why I don't think Trump wants the fucking job for real. I mean, only an idiot wants to be president. I mean, you got an idea of what can work. Well, if we put this cog in this hole, that should do it. No, you can't do that. But I thought you wanted me to do my job. No, we don't want you to do your job. We want you to just be responsible for shit you can't do. Who wants that job?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Who wants a job where you can't do the job and at least fuck up the way you want to fuck up? I mean, if I'm a fail, let me fail by trying my own ideas. Anyway, all right. Thanks for your call, man.
Thanks, Tim.
Yeah, thank you. We getting pumped up. This is what they came for, though. If you wanted Bill O'Reilly, you would have turned on Fox News. I ain't fucking Bill O'Reilly. All right. Oh, I got Rob Save me, Rob. Come with an idea, a plan. Help me out. West Virginia. I'm channeling Rob of West Virginia right now. What say you, my brother?
Oh, Tim, I'm glad you're not Bill O'Reilly.
True that.
I'll tell you what, but you know, when you started the show, we're not going to assume who this person is. But I'm going to jump to an assumption myself. It's my personal assumption. I'll find a 20-year-old white kid on some form of medication, an anxiety medication or a Concerta or a Zoloft or one of these mood-altering medicines that's been a common denominator here of late. That he was depressed, that he's been therapied. It seems like all these kids here lately have been on some type of depression drug that one of the side effects is always going to be suicidal. These late night shows when you see this medication index where they say, hey, if you take this and it makes you suicidal, talk to your doctor.
Okay, Rob. Let's say you're right, man. Let's say that you're clairvoyant. You see the future. You know all things. You're one of those guys that can read shit without being there. Okay. What's wrong with passing a law that requires for people who are seeing psychiatrists not be able, and on medication, not just in therapy, on medication, not be able to fucking get guns? What's wrong with that?
Well,
that Joy can still get her gun because she's not on anything.
Because of these HIPAA laws, you can't discuss crap between anybody of what type of medications and what you're being seen for. With these HIPAA laws of medications and stuff, that's a big problem as far as if somebody's going in to get a prescription, that information is not to be passed on for something. And it's not a gun type law, and like you said, it's more of a medical community law, the pharmaceutical laws. It's one of those deals where, I don't know if you're going in for medications, I can't just call them and say, what's he in there for? What's he being treated for? They don't do that. 30 years ago they might have. You were able to call a hospital and say, hey, I heard Mrs. Jones is having a baby. Does she have a baby boy, baby girl? Like, we can't tell you that information. They don't tell you shit.
Right.
So that's a big problem as far as not sharing the information. I agree with that. I do agree with that.
See, I'm sorry, Rob. Who do you think is behind? I know you said the pharmaceutical companies. I don't know if they control the ability. I know they have lobbyists, so it could be them. But I got a feeling the NRA got a little something to do with this shit too. I think the NRA has lobbyists fighting against certain restrictions being lifted or being placed on guns, not because they care, but because they know they would sell less guns. I got that feeling.
Well, if you look under Obama's administration, more guns have been sold in the last 8 years than within the last 20. Because of fear. You see what I'm saying? And that's not a joke. The NICS check for these handguns and all these gun laws, it comes here to West Virginia, here to Clarksburg, West Virginia. Every time anybody in the United States buys a gun and the proper check goes through, it comes here to West Virginia to do the check, the background checks.
Gotcha.
But bringing up what Joyce said, she hit the nail on the head. Before I even spoke it, I was thinking it about the police and if you're going to neuter us, they'll only allow certain people or certain aspects of the community to have guns. Well, that ain't cool. In certain states, they've passed, you've heard of these no-knock warrants, these deals where the police jump down, knock a door down at 3 in the morning.
Right.
And, they don't knock, they just bust the door down, come flying in your house. And there have been many cases where they've got the wrong house and a homeowner had shot back and killed police and got in trouble for defending their house even though they're in the wrong house.
But how rare? But Rob, that's rare, Rob. That shit is rare. I look at those stories, man. I would love to do more of those stories, but they're very seldom. But you know what? I don't have to search to find regular fucking gun deaths or terror acts. But it's hard to find a situation where it's a no-knock warrant, a citizen pulls their gun and shoots the cops. And don't you think cops are using the fact that there are so many guns and everybody can have a gun as a reason to buy the fucking tanks you talked about last week?
Well, we've always had guns. This is not new.
But like you
America's always
said,
had
you
guns.
said yourself, in the last 8 years, we've sold more guns in the last 20 years. And don't you think those cops use that as a justification to buy that more increased militarization of the police?
They sold more guns on the fear that somebody's going to take them away when they know they're not. And that's the NRA's fault. I agree with that, where the NRA is pushing fear that they're coming to take away guns, and they're not. They're not going to come take away guns, and it bolsters sales, and it bolsters members, and it bolsters money. And that's wrong. And I'm not a big NRA fan, where they don't protect the rights of gun owners. They're promoting money. It's a lobbying group. I understand that.
Right.
If I were, back to the assumption, I could be definitely wrong. The DC sniper, you know what I assumed? I assumed a white guy. I assumed a white left-wing or right-wing Christian nut, and it turned out to be a black Muslim during the DC sniper days. You remember about 15 years ago, maybe?
I know about it intimately. Yeah, I've been in this area my whole life. Yeah, so yeah, we were looking over our shoulder at the gas stations and all that. Of course, yeah, hell yeah. It didn't change the fact that he was.
I remember driving to work, going to my gas tanks, thinking, "Holy shit! People are just stopping to get gas or get on a bus, and they're getting sniped. They're getting shot."
Right. What do we do, Rob?
But yeah,
what do we do, Rob? What do you think we do?
Yeah, well, it's crazy, the Dylann Roof deal. If you read on through that, he was supposed to be denied, but the system failed.
Right.
The system failed where he was not, like George said, he had felony, he had a record, he had all this stuff. He was supposed to not get a gun, but the system in place failed.
Yeah.
The system's broke.
Yeah. I don't know.
But as far as these mass shootings, it's always the common denominator. Like you said at the start of the show, it's coming on down. Somebody's going to say gun-free zone. People aren't. There's no answer to the violence. There really isn't.
There really isn't.
Chicago and Baltimore, down where you're at, they have very strict gun laws.
You're right. They do.
Lots of gun crime. So I don't know what the answer is.
I don't either.
I think that starting the medical field, as far as are these people being treated with some of these medical things where they're suicidal attempts or stuff like that.
Right.
Is that what they're on? Because if you look at these kids, it seems like the common denominator is a psychotropic mind or mood enhancing drug that they've been prescribed, and then if they're taken away from it, it really screws their brains up. They trip, they flip.
Right.
And that's usually the first offense whenever they, when they get turned in. They always say, well, he was in treatment, he was in rehab, he was on this, he was on this. But he used the gun to commit the crime.
He did.
But
it's just that a gun is just a perfect killing instrument. I know you can use a knife. Yeah, I know you can use a knife. I know he could use a hatchet. He could use a baseball bat, for God's sake. I understand that. And those arguments, they're true. That a person wants to kill, they're going to find a way to kill some people. But the fact that they can kill so many people so quickly, but once again, it's a lot of emotion tied up in it. Shit, I don't know, Rob. Thank you for calling, bro. I don't know.
All right, Tim. I'll be listening.
All right, Captain. I'm gonna go to my chat room and see if I can find people with any information about the shooter. I don't have anything for you other than what we have, what I told you. They said they arrived to find multiple patients in multiple classrooms. Law enforcement was on the scene and had shooter neutralized. So this is like a chronology of what happened, but they're just going over. There's no new information. There's nothing that I have. Maybe somebody can call in with some more up to date. I can't get that for you right now. I wish I could, but I got some good people out here who are probably looking it up. Hey, you're live with Tim Black. Who's this?
This is Chris.
Hey, Chris, what's going on, my friend? Are you watching the news? Did you find out anything about the shooter? Are they releasing anything?
Not really. When I came home, it looked like a freaking YouTube video on my news channel. So I just, I don't pay attention to it much, man. I don't really, like I said, I don't watch a lot of news, man. There's a reason behind that too, but I'm not going to get all into that right now. I haven't been paying attention to that story. I'm watching the game and you at the same time right now. I'm just looking at the chat room, and we got some idiot here just hating on police right now, and kind of bashing Josh. So I'm calling in to kind of stick up for the guy. But basically, our cops ain't bad cops, and you can't go around hating every police officer for one bad apple. You know what I mean? And just imagine if there weren't police. What would America turn into real fast if you take guns from cops or take police out altogether? And you talking about bringing the military in. Would that change anything? Or just not having police at all and letting people police themselves? You know what I mean? Just imagine what it would turn into. Try going to live in Chicago or freaking Detroit. You know what I'm saying? And imagine what it would turn into real quick without police. You know what I'm saying?
Right. The getting rid of police is not a fucking option. Anybody who talks about we need to get rid of cops, dude. Your mother needs somebody.
I get profiled, like I said, I got a blacked out BMW, man, and I get profiled all the time just taking my son to the skate park down the road. I get followed literally all the way there and back. They run my tag. They'll sit there 5 cars back with no cars in between them and the car in front of them just to get behind me. Sit there at a red light and wait for me to go just to run my tag. You know what I mean? So, I know there's some bad cops out there, and they do profile a lot, and I'm a white guy, and I get profiled. I've been yoked out of a Bucks game just for standing waiting for my wife to come up the flight of stairs, you know what I mean? And right. A guy read my lips when I say, fuck him, or whatever. I've been literally lifted off the ground with a broken arm and yoked out of that Bucks game, man, and they threw my fucking cup at me on the way out, So, I know about, there's some bad cops in Tampa, too, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I just had to chime in on that, man. I'm going to let you go and listen to what you say, all right?
All right, bro. Thank you for calling, Chris, man. I appreciate it. Look, I want to go on the record how I feel about cops right now, because I see the stuff that's going on, the rhetoric in the chat room. Look, I have a problem with bad cops, just like I have a problem with bad anything, right? I want cops to be held accountable when they do the wrong thing, when it's a bad shoot. That's all I want. That's all the majority of us want. Now, we have some people that just take it and run with it, run down the hill like an idiot, anarchists that don't want any controls, don't want anybody for their grandmother to be able to call when there's a noise outside. Her aim ain't so good, bro. She need to call somebody. Think. You wake up tomorrow and your 3-year-old or your 5-year-old is missing from fucking daycare. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters ain't a real thing, man. So chill the fuck out. But on the other side of that thing, man, when a cop shoots a man in the back who has no gun, who's wanted for child support because he didn't listen, I got a fucking problem with that. I hate that cop. I can hate that cop without hating all cops. I am capable of doing 2 things at once. So are you. So grow up. Let's have a discussion, but let's not demonize people just to make you feel better. You accomplished nothing. And you know what this is? That's the violin. Smallest violin in the world, playing just for your punk ass. If you ever been to the hood or came from the hood, the last thing you want to say is you don't want any cops. There are people who don't give a fuck about you or I, who would gladly love to operate in a climate that was devoid of any law enforcement. That's not what we want, nor what we need. We need better cops. We need better cops. We need better parents. We need better a lot of things. We need a lot of things. And in my opinion, we need better gun laws. And I love Joy. I love Rob. I love my people here. Okay, I love y'all. I don't want to take your gun, Joy, unless you want a psychotropic drug. I don't know. I hope not. Well, if you are, just, I don't know. You never know. You never know what somebody's on. Right? All right. You never know. But what I'm saying is, you know what I'm saying. Joy should have the right to defend herself. Tim Black should have the right to defend himself. Look at me. I'm on the internet. Think I've had a couple threats? You best believe. I made a video about Phil Robinson of Duck Dynasty fame. I was called everything except the son of God, a child of God by Christians. Christians threatened my life because I said I didn't like what Phil said about black folks. I've made over 700 videos. The only time I've ever had to cut off comments was with The Amazing Atheist and the Phil Robinson Christian Fundamentalist. So you can't tell me, because of all of the niggers and monkeys and nog-nogs I was called, and threats to my life as well. Well, not so much from The Amazing Atheist. They didn't threaten my life. Just a lot of crude gay jokes. All right, that was a little levity. We need a little levity. God damn it. Look. Go ahead, Tim. You talking about gun control. It's not just about gun control. It's like I don't know what's going to work. And I understand people saying, well, you know what, since we don't know what's going to work, let me keep my damn gun till you figure it out. Because meanwhile, I don't trust you that you haven't figured out. You going to take my gun and leave me at the mercy of these motherfuckers? Oh, no, thank you. I understand that. I understand how you feel. So, like, I'm saying, like, look, hey, I'm open up to suggestions, but there's more than one way to look at it, and I often will take the devil's advocate role when a caller calls in. I understand what you're saying on that side of the argument, and I understand what the Democrats or the liberals, for the most part, are saying. We need some more gun restrictions. But damn it, man, if Rob's right, and we can't find out who's on Xanax or who's on Prozac, if there's no way that they can tell, what good is the restriction if it's not going to be the things we need them to restrict? If they can't get the information for things we want to stop. See, I don't want to stop you from getting a gun. Hell, you having a gun might save my life. I think I'm a little older now, I'm more calm. I think I can handle a gun now. When I was younger, it wasn't a good idea for me. I was too volatile. I'd actually shoot your ass. Now, I would think of other things to do besides shoot you. You understand what I'm saying? Because see, when some people have guns, they use it as what's the analogy? I'm sure you've heard of it. When you got a hammer, everything looks like a nail. And some people love to bang on stuff. So, I'm still looking. Let me look in the chat room and see if we got any information on our shooter. Rev. I'm just going to call Rev. Rev, I'm just going to call you Rev, okay? Rev Ucumber, Tech USA. He made a comment earlier that I wanted to comment on, but I didn't want to cut my people off. I think it was about the drugs, about the pharmaceutical drugs someone could be on. And when they talk about gun laws, gun restrictions, that's not one of the things they're restricting for. Sanity is not a prerequisite. Ain't that some shit? Artificial Ripper says, why don't we just have a little gun control rather than total bans on guns? I agree. A little gun control would be nice. That's a little. But I don't know if it'll help. But I'd like to see if it helps. Look, we do a little gun control, guys. If it don't work, we go back to the way it was. Tim, that shit ain't going to work. As soon as you give them an inch, they're going to take a mile. That's the argument. See, we got a stalemate. Perfectly good solution. We tried for 6 months. Y'all got to work with me, man. Y'all got to work with me. Look at this. Corden Hudima. Corden Hudima. I know I'm butchering that last name, Corden. Says he's 26. The 20-year-old was wrongly reported. See what I'm saying, guys? Someone's like, Tim, you need to wait before you do your story so you can get more information. This happened this morning, dude, and we're still finding out they got the fucking age wrong. How long am I supposed to wait? Till next week before I do stories? Go to Goga Boo Boo. Okay. People that aren't joking around. MEC says, fuck the police. Straight from the underground. Young brother got it bad because I'm brown. Or white. Or Asian. Or don't really matter. He's got it bad. A lot of people get shot. All right. The fuck is good? All right, I'm looking, guys. I'm looking. Does anybody have any information on this guy? It's a slippery slope. If you start making laws to restrict Americans from their rights to bear arms, then slowly they would add more restrictions until that right was gone, says Tom T. Okay, Tom T, you need to call me because I need you to cite another situation like this in America where they did that shit. Like, what else did we do? What other thing have we taken, applied a restriction to it, and then kept restricting it until it was gone? I know you ain't gonna say cigarettes, because the only thing that kills more people than guns is fucking cigarettes. Or cars. Like, we put restrictions on cars, like, you know, airbags and shit. You know, like, I remember being a kid, dude, we used to sit in the back of the station wagon, no seatbelts and shit. You do that now, they lock you the fuck up. You put your kids in the back of the car, let them tumble around. I remember sitting on the fucking hood. You remember that? How many people are old as me? Come on, old as me, over 40. How many of you remember laying on the floor riding? Fuck a seatbelt. The seatbelts didn't even work, dog. And then when Dad hit that corner, how many of y'all remember that shit? Come on, man. Talk to me. But they didn't take away cars, Tom. You really think they would take away guns? You know how much money they make on guns, man. You know it's taxable. Dude, come on, man. But anyway, Tom, you call in and you tell me something else that gives you the ability to make that claim. And I'll ride with you, homie. But you got to have an example. You just can't pull it out your ass and say, that's what they going to do. That's what the NRA told you they going to do. But that ain't what they did in any other industry. Nothing else. Nothing else. Shit. You can buy food that ain't good for you, liquor that ain't good for you, cigarettes that ain't good for you. Nobody gives a fuck about you, man. Thinking that the NRA cares about you. Yeah, like Philip Morris cares about us. McDonald's, Monsanto. They don't care about us. Damn, Michael Jackson song is playing in my head. Rest in peace, Mike. Let me go see. Maybe Tom actually called. He got tired of hearing me talk shit.
Oh, we got a comment.
What'd he say?
Toledo 90. They made a ton of money on alcohol, and they took that away. But they gave it back, and they still took it away.
Okay, we'll get to him. Hey, how you doing? You're live with Tim Black. Hey, you're live with Tim Black. Who is this? You are live with Tim Black. 5, 4,
Hello.
3, gone. You know, I know your mother was a crack whore. I understand this situation you have. But I would love for you to try to rise above that when you call my show. Understand what I'm saying? Random penises, you don't know who your dad is. I get it. It makes you somewhat bitter. But don't call my show wasting our time, okay? We're on an important subject tonight. All right. What did Tom T said? He said, Tim, you're wrong just to say I'm wrong. But no, he came out, he said prohibition. Telling everyone he was going to do it. The shooter posted a thread on 4chan last night. Well, damn, Tom, why didn't you do something? Why didn't you call somebody? All these snitches we got in the United States, nobody snitched. The black girl who made the videos talking about black killer cracker, killer cop. Somebody snitched on her ass and got her quickly. She's sitting behind bars now for making YouTube videos. Nobody called about this guy? Nobody wanted to bring him to justice? So what's 4chan's fault? Come on, 4chan. Oh, see, we're getting into a lot of areas, aren't we? See how our story keeps going? Start talking about privacy. We start talking about Big Brother, pie in the sky, the eye in the sky, watching what we do. So there's always There's a level of security or ability or free reign the feds want to look at our shit. And then there's a level of comfort that we want to have that they can't look at our stuff. And when it starts doing like this, you understand what I'm saying? When they start connecting, tapping each other, we start complaining. Would you accept less privacy if it means we could have caught this guy? Maybe we could have caught him. If we were allowed, if 4chan had opened up the floodgates like Facebook did and let people look at this shit. Because you know they monitor Facebook. Maybe they don't monitor 4chan. Hey, another element of it that we haven't considered, right? I don't know, guys. I don't know. Let me jump over here. Did I scare everybody away? I did. I scared everybody away. Look, you can call. Just don't be an asshole. Joshua said he has to go to work as a cop. Bye. Joshua, we love you, man. You sound like a good cop. Just don't shoot no brothers in the back today over their child support payments. Don't shoot no kids with Wii controllers in their hand. Don't shoot. And more importantly, Joshua, if your partner's a scumbag, out his ass. That's what we want from you, Joshua. If your partner's a scumbag, out his ass. If you see corruption, tell on them motherfuckers. That's all we need from you, officer. And then I got your back. Then you come on my show. We talk about it. Tim, you don't live here. You can't help me. I got kids. I got a family. What you gonna do for me, Tim Black? You can't even barely feed yourself. Your show with your little subscriber base. Am I making too light of this story? I'm not trying to make light of this story. I'm not at all. It's just that I don't know the solution to it. I sit up here and cry. The pain is painful to think about these young people losing their lives for nothing. No fault of their own at all. Getting an education, going to school, and somebody takes their future from them. Across from me now is my 17-year-old son. He's filming this on Meerkat. To imagine my son's life being taken by some deranged asshole, whatever his denomination. I still want to know, though. But whatever his denomination, or her denomination, women kill too. Usually in the womb. But that's another story. I would be no good. I don't know how I would function after that. So, I want to entertain you, but we got to bring it back to what this is really about. This is about 13 people dead in Oregon, 13 people attending school, and over 20 people wounded, and no solutions. It just keeps happening, and there's no solutions. I got nothing. Hey, Rob, how you doing?
I'm gonna be real quick, Tim. I ain't gonna take up all your show. But back in the day, the old day, they used to have the loony bins. The guys, the white coats, come take somebody that somebody thought was a danger away. We don't have that anymore. I think it's an involuntary, mandatory 72-hour evaluation, and they set them free. I was bringing this up because I was teasing my mother-in-law a couple of weeks ago. She was on some crazy stuff, and I said, I'm going to call the loony bin, because back in the day, they'd have took you away because you're just not safe.
Right.
You know, there's no place for the mentally ill out there, you know?
Right.
When you say, if you snitch on them, if you tell on them, if we open up 4chan and all that stuff, we have too much rights and too much freedoms, and we don't, you know? When do you know that there's a true threat and somebody just talking shit out of their mouth, you know?
Right. You're right. We don't know. We don't know. So we have to err on the side of, I think they can do it, and we just go get them?
Well, that's it. We can. I mean, we can to an extent. And again, most of these people that have been caught this, they've been in some form of an institutional where they've been looked at, or even the Columbine killer. Not the Columbine killer, it was the Sandy Hook killer.
Right.
His mom had all kinds of trouble with that kid and said he was in treatments and all this stuff. But she, the mom, known that, if I knew my kid was a little whack, I was like, man, we ain't got no gun to this house, do we? If he was a little flaky, like, yeah, I think he could, present a harm to us. So I don't know. I don't know if snitching works or just say, hey, I think this guy's well, my God, that'd be everybody in my neighborhood I'd snitch on.
Right.
But I don't know. Like I said, we don't have a place to truly evaluate, or we don't have a method or the technology or the medicine or something to truly evaluate who's a true threat and who's just crazy. People are allowed to be crazy. It's America. Where you walk down New York, you see crazy.
Right.
But I don't know. I'm not going to take up all your time. I'm going to let you continue on. That came to my head.
Yeah,
How do we know when somebody's being genuine and a threat, and somebody's just out there blowing off steam or freedom of speech? And I like to talk about that girl. She made some videos. She's in jail. And free speech didn't protect her. She didn't commit a crime, but by talking about it, she did.
Right.
But we're letting her voice be, we don't know if she ever would. I don't know.
Look, Rob, they locked her up with no bail. No bail. That's some serious.
Without committing a crime.
Without committing an actual crime. All right, Rob, man.
I'll let you go.
All right, Cap. Thank you for calling, man.
We got a comment from Gino Fernandez Jr. And their comment is, the shooter was targeting Christians. I don't know if that's true or not.
I wish they could.
I'm waiting.
What's his name?
Gino Fernandez Jr.
Gino Fernandez Jr. Man, if you could send me a link, if you could tweet me a link or something to that, I would love to be able to give my folks that information. But you got to have a source, man. I can't put that out there. According to somebody on Meerkat, they say that the shooter, Gino says that the shooter was targeting Christians. Just because you go to college, that means you're a Christian? I don't know. Nah, I can't see that. I can't see it. I think that information suspect, Gino, just because I don't think he was asking, are you atheist or are you Christian? Or are you Muslim or are you Jewish?
He just sent a link.
He sent a link. Oh, shit.
It's a Google search, though.
Oh, it's a Google search. Okay. I don't know what happened. Okay, I'm not getting anything right now. Okay, guys, I don't have any information on. I just had someone say that they sent a link to a search, but as of right now, I've got nothing to tell you different. We got to confirm it before I go out there like that. Like I said, I think it would be pretty hard for a guy to start shooting up a college and say, well, I'm only going to shoot Christians.
And now we just sent a comment saying he was asking. No question mark.
Wow, he was asking? All right. Okay. Hey, Joy, how you doing?
I'm good. My heart just went into my feet. I was like, what?
What happened?
No, Christian. You were saying Christian, and he was asking people and stuff like that. I was listening to it.
That's what the guy just said on Meerkat, a guy like on Meerkat app who's watching the stream. But I can't get a source. I can't get a source for it, Joy, so I don't know.
Okay. Well, I was going to talk about the Obama coming out about gun control every time there's a mass shooting.
Right.
And the thing about Obama is that he chooses to pop up on this, but not necessarily on that. So when we have, like with Rob earlier, when we have someone who's mentally ill, there was a black woman who was mentally ill, you talked about this, and they tased her to death.
Right.
Sam DeBose was shot in the head. But again, you're not saying, you're saying let's take the guns from the citizens, the people who are obeying the laws. But again, it's not level in this society. It's not equal, and it's not even being dealt with equally.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying.
I want these folks to rest in peace. But again, you have men like the gentleman who just recently shot up the movie theater. Now, he had bombs in his house. He came in with a gun and he's shooting up the movie theater and stuff. You know, it's like you can't go to the law-abiding citizens and break them down. It's sort of like taxing the middle class out of existence. You can't continue to squeeze those who do right, trying to find those who are doing wrong.
I understand. Is he talking? Yeah, I do. I do. I understand. Is he talking about banning guns, or is he talking about more restrictions on guns? I was under the.
I'm sorry. Sir.
No. You go ahead, Joy. You answer. Is he talking about banning guns or more restrictions on guns?
I believe Obama wants the guns. Obama did an interview, and he said basically getting the guns out of America was the hardest thing that he's ever had to deal with in his presidency. He said the gun issue was the hardest thing he had to deal with in his presidency. Now, I think it's something else, but that's what he feels it is. So I think Obama is trying to get the guns, period. But he has to start. You know, you got to take a little step here, a little step there, a little step here. But in every case, Obama comes out. Obama doesn't deal with, let's say, the injustice. Like, okay, the 9. When the 9 got shot by this one young man, he did not deal with the fact that that the FBI dropped the ball or the business owner dropped the ball. He said, I want your gun. He came for the gun. You understand?
Right.
Where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
So that's the only thing that makes me a little leery about the Obama stance. And again, we're talking about criminals. Criminals are going. It's like drugs. Well, we know that in the 80s, the drugs were not necessary. It wasn't Jerome and Tyrone and all of them, even though they were going to prison for selling these drugs. Who were bringing the drugs into the communities?
Right. Right.
We find out that this illegal stuff that was going on had a lot to do with our government, CIA, FBI, so forth and so on.
Right.
We find that there was a bit of a back door. Now, when we look at America, we make our money. We make our money off of war, drugs, guns. We push pills and whatever, however, locking it up. So, you know, this is not the cleanest of places. So when we look at America compared to other places, America is like the Wild Wild West compared to other places.
You're absolutely right.
And so we can't look at America like everything is so fresh and so clean, like we're fresh up out the package and everything is brand new, pretty and shiny.
Okay, so
that's not our reality.
So what do you think we should do about killings? What should we do?
It's a societal problem, sir. It's a societal problem.
So we
don't value human life here in America. We have a I'm better than you kind of view in America. We still have a Jim Crow kind of view in America. We still have a separate and conquer kind of view in America. I mean, we got the middle class, the middle working class, the upper middle class, the lower working class, I mean, really. The fact of the matter is, if we stood back and took a good hard look, it's 99% against the 1%. It's the 99% against the 1%. If folks could back up and see that, this world would be a much better place.
Wow. You just said it all, didn't you? Joy just said it all,
yes,
y'all.
Thank you. Thank you for taking my call.
You got it, Joy. Joy just said it all, y'all. It's a societal problem. We have people who, for whatever reason, don't value human life. Is that really what's going on? Is that the case? I mean, and trying to take guns away from citizens who are not the problem creates more of a problem, because the bad guys still had the guns. And who the hell would want to give up their gun to stop somebody from coming up in their house? I don't know, guys. I mean, I don't know. Obama talks about this, but he won't talk about other issues. He won't talk about other issues, the issues that lead up to the person getting the gun. The issues is the psychological issues. Just go get the gun. Go get the gun. Go get the gun. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Joy makes a good argument. I'm sure many of my liberal guys would make the same, make arguments. What does Tim Black think? What do I think? I used to be a lot more liberal on this issue. I've changed because I've looked at story after story after story after story after doing this show, and I've come to the conclusion that violence is too rampant to tell people to get rid of their guns. And if that's all that they want to do, that shit ain't going to work. I wouldn't support it. If you live in the hood, you need a gun. I'm sorry. You need a gun. If you don't live in the hood, you need a gun. I think people need guns. I think people need to be more responsible with their guns. I think people need to be trained on how to use their guns, and they need to secure their gun. And if your gun gets stolen, you got to fucking report it immediately. But do I think they need restrictions on guns? I think they need restrictions on guns. Sorry, Tom. I just think they do need more restrictions on guns. But Rob says, hey, Tim, they won't do a psych eval. They won't let you access the information for the psych eval. So they don't really want to know, do they, Rob? They don't really want to help us. They don't really want to protect you and your wife, or you and your kids, or you, or even Old Yeller. They don't give a shit. So Joy brought up some good points, and I'm thinking about this. If people, from Dylan Roof to, I don't know, the cuckoo guy out there in Santa Barbara, guy who wrote the manifesto, forget his name. Guy I can't get the girls. Why do they have to have all the girls? Remember the guy, kid in college, rich kid,
dark hair brunette guy.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that guy was
Pool or something. Yeah, okay, I forget his name.
Nice guy.
But weird guy. Just mad. Asian guy wanted to be a white guy. Whatever. Problems. Watch too many. What's those cartoons, man? Cartoons with they even make the characters in Asia. Or, well, anime. Too many anime cartoons. I don't know. I want to be a white guy. I never understood that.
It's weird.
The point is, these people have problems. Would it be changed if they knew that the problem is that we, the people, have these companies with their foot on our backs? The problem is not that person over there, not that person over there, but that company behind the scenes, the oligarchy. That's the problem. If people really understood that, would that change? Or is it that, in large, most people are too damn stupid to even listen to good information when you give it to them? I don't know. I'm kind of skeptical. I mean, people want to believe in boogeymen more than they want to believe that a company doesn't care about them. Look at him there. That's why Trump's doing so well. He makes money. Yeah, I know. He makes a lot of money. So everybody loves Trump. They don't. Most of the people who like Trump don't know any policy he's really for except putting up a wall that would be like hundreds of miles long. I don't know who was going to pay for it, or we'll get Mexico to pay for it. But my point is, people love the fact that he's successful. They look at the people, they look at the 1% and go, wow, the 1%. Well, maybe it's the 1% that's creating these people, that's making these people feel like they need to go out and do something, that the world screwed up, that they need to act, that they can't succeed. Like the black guy who just shot up the reporters, who complained about the companies and his inability to get ahead because he was a gay and a black man. So he can't get ahead. So what's he got to do? He has to take a gun and go shoot ex-co-workers who don't own the station, who don't make decisions, who never canned his ass and took him out from in front of the camera. Or was he just psycho? And it didn't matter. Maybe the problem is a mental health problem we have in the United States that won't be solved no matter how many guns you get rid of. I don't know if I buy the argument when people say, well, they're going to get a gun somehow. I don't know. Not all the time. Maybe the hardened criminals. You know what I mean? Maybe the guys. But these little geeky dudes, these little geeky white boys, they ain't going down the hood to holler at, DeWan on the corner like, this ain't a movie, dog. It's not a movie where the white kid goes in the part of town and sees the black guys with do-rags on. What you want, homie? What you need, homie? And the white guy's like, man, I just need to get some... What? You ain't no cop, is you? I mean, y'all watch too much movies. Everyone thinks that's how it is. Like, that was what he would resort to if he couldn't just go to Walmart or some shit. He couldn't just go to the gun shop. Like, he would still somehow go get a gun. Not all the time. For the most hardened of criminals, yes. For the real assholes, yes. For the real people that's out here dealing dirt, dealing drugs, robbing people, sticking up people, yeah, they operate in that world. But not I don't think our mass shooters operate in that world for the most part. Not for the most part, okay? Not for the most part. All right? I got a qualifier there. I think for the most part, I don't think Dylan Roof was going to go holler at no homeboys in the hood and be like, yo, what up, man? I'm just here, man. I don't think he's like Chris Powers, who would just walk up and know how to walk and talk to some Latino brothers, some essays, right? Some disciples, or talk to some Crips and Bloods and get guns. I don't think he got it like that. I think he would have shit his pants. He ain't built for that type of life. He ain't got that work. So what I'm saying is there would be some people who wouldn't be able to get guns. There would be. I understand what you're saying, but I know you feel what I'm saying. That being said, I got no problem with Joy having a gun. I got no problem with any law-abiding citizen having a gun who uses it in the right way. What do we do about this guy or woman? Well, they said it was a male. Some say 20, some say 26. Still waiting on information. Let me go check my chat room, man. Let me see my people still here. Let's see what we got. Kroom says, look at the murder rates in Australia, Sweden, and England. Y'all heard Joy? America's different. We crazy. She does have a point. We are kind of crazy here in the U.S. I mean, come on. Entertainment capital. Got a bunch of loony bins. Let's go to Hollywood. There's some nutcases. Love the channel, homie. That's what's up. Bob Alamau. Welcome to the channel, man. Make sure you go to Facebook and join Speak On It group. That would be great, man. Also, guys, I'd love it if you donate to this channel as well. I mean, you here? Buy a brother a beer, a cup of coffee, car, something like that, Buy me a gun. You got me there. General Deere. There are no ghettos in those countries. General Deere, or at least less of them. All right. Iron Man. My man. Okay, let me be quiet. Gunman identified. Chris Harper, Mercer. Gunman identified. Chris Harper, Mercer on Fox. All right. I'm going to go with that, guys. We got an identification. Hey, you live with Tim Black. Who's this?
This is Ross. What's going on?
Hey, Ross, man. Have you got any information about the name of the shooter in Oregon?
No, I don't. But I know that historically Oregon has been one of the states where gun control has been more popular, but a lot of shit still happen. town center shooting, real famous one from the 90s.
Okay.
I think maybe a couple more, but that's my first example.
Okay. I just got.
What I wanted to bring up was.
Well,
Sorry.
real quick, let me just tell you, we just got one of the people in the chat room says that Fox News is reporting that the name of the shooter is Chris Harper Mercer. And I was just wondering if you saw it, but okay. So that's, I don't know.
Is that all they got? Or?
That's all they got. They said earlier that he was a 20-year-old, and then someone said he was 26. So I don't know how old he really is. This was a community college, and heck, man, people my age go back to college, community college. I mean, you never know what the age could be. Don't laugh, man. I'm still spry.
Hammer it down for
right.
other days.
Cool. But go ahead with your comment, man. What was on your mind? I didn't mean to cut you off, Ross.
I was thinking about what you said a little while ago about the mental health component, and honestly, I would say, like, have you ever gone into like a mental health hospital or anything like that?
I have not personally, no.
Okay. Well, I have personally, and to visit friends and stuff, and I can say that like lots of those places are severely understaffed and underfunded. So with that in mind, it kind of makes sense that some people slip through the cracks, that shouldn't be.
Yeah, I could. You know what? That's an excellent point to bring up, Ross. It's similar. It sounds similar. It has me thinking about the adoptive situation. Like, people think, oh, this person, I saw them strike their kid. Let me call up CDS or Child Protective CPS, Child Protective Services, and they get the state involved. And I tell people, you know what? Stop thinking that there's this big place, all well-staffed, full of great people that take care of these children. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times they're understaffed as well. And that's the first thing that came to my mind when you brought up the lack of staffing in these mental health clinics.
Yeah. And also, I mean, like, these people aren't being themselves to some degree. They'll have like a persona that they hold on to. There's going to be deception, misrepresentation sometimes, and I don't think the staff there is necessarily trained to see through that, and so,
right. You're right.
But
you're right.
But anyway, that's all I got.
Hey man,
thanks for the show.
Hey man, thank you for calling, Ross. I appreciate it, man. Ross brings up a good point, man. We it's like, look, this is the deal, guys. I think part of it is we all want to look for the smoking gun. No pun intended, right? We want to look for the smoking gun. We want to look for some group or something we could put this on. You know what I mean? Like, some people want to put it on guns. Joy and many others are saying, no, don't put it on guns. Some people want to put it on mental health. I brought up mental health as well. But at the end of the day, like, there is no, like, one place to put it on. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, these are U.S. citizens for the most part, as far as we know, for the most part, even regardless to who did this, regardless if Chris Harper Mercer is his name or not, or regardless if this is an American citizen, if this is a blue-eyed, blonde white boy, or a black dude, or a Latino dude, and black dudes, black folks, we can't just jump out there and be like, well, he sound like a white dude. I thought the guy who shot the reporters was white. So I'm gonna go ahead and fall back. I ain't gonna call nothing out. I had to eat a little crow on that one. That's white people do that shit. Oh damn, this brother, not only is he an asshole, his name Vesta, and he killed, and he a black dude. Come on, man. So, bottom line is, we want to look for a bucket to put it in and make somebody else carry the bucket. But at the end of the day, it don't fit cleanly in any bucket. That's what I'm coming up with. Let me see what I got. I got a call out here. Let me grab it real quick while the phone lines are still active. Hey, you on the line with Tim Black. Who is this?
Yes, Tim. My name is Jacob. How you doing, man?
I'm good, Jacob. What say you about Oregon?
I live over here in Florida, man.
Okay.
I got an idea with all these shootings and everything else that's taking place. Seems like most of the shootings happen in gun-free zones. Have you noticed that?
I don't
How
know,
about if
man.
they start arming the damn teachers and stuff? You know what I'm saying? Instead of it being a gun-free zone, how about if they actually put teachers through the training courses, let them get a concealed weapons permit, and let them start carrying guns? That way when a nutcase actually pulls out a gun, there's a standing fighting chance for teachers to be the first responders instead of a police officer arriving on scene 5 to 10 minutes later after everything's already done. Just want to know your thoughts on that.
All right, man. Thank you, Jacob.
All right, man. You have a good one.
You too, Jacob. All right, man. Jacob's got a good question. Hey, look. I don't have a problem with it. Look, schools is one thing. I would say security, right? But not all schools can afford security. I don't know if I want... Have you looked at some of these teachers, Jacob? I mean, really. Not all the teachers are the smartest people in the world. And I know that's a hard thing to say. I just, some of them, I don't know, right? But okay, maybe certain teachers, I don't know if I don't know. Now, what happens when the teacher accidentally shoots the kid? What happens when he pull out the gun? We're entrusting, basically you're deputizing teachers. And what if they act inappropriately? I guess Jacob's like, they can't act any more inappropriately than the police do, right? Come on, man, ride with me. I got to stick with something. I would say it's a good idea to have security in these schools. But you know how many security guards that is? I don't know. Maybe they need to start budgeting in to have an armed guard present in the school. But you're right. Then what if he's on that end of the campus and the shooting occurs in the library, here in the cafeteria? I don't know. So does it make sense to him once again? If teachers were able to have guns? I don't know, man. I would like to say yes. I mean, anything gives us an opportunity to stop the shooter. I gotta be for it. So if you're saying there's no way that I could regulate who gets a gun because this guy can go down and cop one from a Crip. Maybe Chris hangs out with Crips, right? Not to shit on the Crips. They probably just take his money and send his ass packing. I don't know. Well, not packing, but you know what I mean. Dude, I don't know. It's a very good question, Jacob. I would like to say it's okay to arm the teachers. It's okay to deputize the teacher. You know, we say that until some shit happens, Jacob, to be honest with you. Until a teacher tries to disarm a situation, shoots somebody unnecessarily, or shoots a child or a student. And then we got a whole nother situation that we don't even want to think about. See, that's the thing about preventive measures. When you have preventive measures, you don't know how much stuff it prevented. Or with just the idea of the guy knowing the teachers could have guns. Hey, the idea that the teachers could have guns, would that deter guys from coming in to the school with guns? TJ? If a guy thought that the teacher had a gun, would the student be less likely to come to the school with guns?
Most likely, yeah.
But would he just shoot the teacher first?
Probably.
That's possible. I mean, he is deranged, right? He is psycho, right? I mean, that is what we're suggesting. We're suggesting these people are maybe not psycho. Maybe that's the wrong term. Pissed off is just enough. It could be other things too. You know, psychotic. I say psycho, that's the same thing. But you know what I'm saying. Like someone just in a fit and rage. Someone obsessed. Someone with an axe to grind. Someone who wants to frankly just kill people. For whatever homicidal tendency he has. Or she. I don't know. I don't need, you know what? I don't need to say she. I'm trying to be gender neutral on the thing. Shit. When was the last time I saw a woman? You know what? I've never covered a story of a mass shooter being a woman. Somebody look that up for me. Let me know, man. Hit me up. I'd like to know if that's ever even happened. All right, guys. I would like to talk a little bit more about Obama Hey guys, is Obama playing games with us? Come on, I think I got enough liberals. I know a lot of liberals comment on my stuff. They watch my videos. But is Obama playing games? Is he playing games? Is he just trying to, what's he doing? Is he using this as an opportunity? I don't know, I'm just trying to create the conversation, the discussion. Is that what he's doing? Is he using this? Is he ignoring all these other issues and just using this because maybe that's on his agenda? Maybe that's his thing. That's something he wants to get accomplished. He wants to hang his hat on. I don't know. I'm trying to think, what special interest group does he help by being this way? What money, what could be his incentive? Or could he just be wrong? Or do you thinking there's got to be an incentive behind it? Come on, man. Come on, politicians at the presidential level? There's no more campaigns to run. He's good. He's done. He don't have to get elected. He can't get elected anymore. He's done. He paid for life. He's going to be chilling, going to have guards. He's good for the rest of his life. So what would there be to gain by it? Unless we're going to start going to Alex Jones territory. Is that where we're going to go? Alex Jones territory? Just in, Obama's been discovered to have ties to the Illuminati. If he does not produce legislation to ban guns, his daughters' lives have been threatened. More in on that. You take it away, Alex Jones. Or Mark Dice, whatever. The good one or the big one, the fat one or the thin one. I don't know. Either one of them. I don't know, guys. That's all I got for you, man. I don't know. I don't want to make it any longer than it has to be. I have no new information. I would like to know if more information about Chris, but I don't know anything about Chris Mercer. Chris Mercer, was he a student? Did they tell us anything? Priscilla Ford took to a Reno sidewalk in Lincoln on Thanksgiving Day, killing 6. Okay. Kroom says, okay, Priscilla Ford. This happened back in 1980. There was a woman who killed 6 people. Back in 1980, she did it with her car. Maybe she didn't know how to fire a gun. Just so many people you can hit with a car, right? 6 people is a lot of people. Actually, that's a lot of people. Hey, thank you, Kroom. I appreciate it. The Brilliant Brishton. Oh, yeah, the Brilliant Brishton. The Vigilant Christian is a guy who believes in the conspiratorial stuff. Hey, you know, guys, I don't know, man. I don't know. The kill people with cars. You know, the Vigilant Christian. Interesting. You know, I've reached out to TJ and the crew about helping me do some stuff, and I'm waiting to hear back from them. Somebody sent word to them that I've contacted both Ben and TJ about some stuff. I haven't heard back. I mean, I thought we were friends. All right. So, anybody on Meerkat? Anything going on Meerkat? I know I've been streaming forever.
Gino Fernandez gave us another link, and Gino, if you're still watching, just send that stuff into Twitter. Send him a link. He'll get it. And a guy named Inappropriate said, if nerds can get drugs and they can get guns, money runs the world.
Drugs are different, though. Drugs are a little different than guns. A guy on Twitter says that if nerds can get drugs, they can get guns. Yeah, drugs are everywhere. I know you like to say guns are everywhere, but I'm gonna tell you right now. Right now, I can leave my house and go get some weed right now if I want some weed, and it's illegal right here in Maryland. Right? DC, it's not, but you can't sell it. You can't just sell weed. You got to be like restricted and get taxed and all that shit. People think weed legalization means you can just walk up to anybody and just buy weed. No, you can't. Still illegal to do that shit. But I know right now I can walk up the block and somebody's selling. Somebody got it. Not so much with guns. Even me, Tim Black, I'm very black. I would still have a little hard time getting a gun here in Maryland. Now I know to go to the hood, I do, but I fit in. Come on. I'm just saying, like right here where I'm at, not so easy. Just saying, all right? You extrapolate that out to the Dylan Roofs, these other people. You know, this guy had 4 guns. I know they recovered 4 guns at the scene of the crime. I don't know how many shots were fired. I've been hearing different stuff, but 4 guns. They found the students inside the classroom shot to death. All right. Yeah, Maryland has very strict gun laws. There you go. But you can still get them. You can still get a license. You can get a license to get a gun in Maryland. Crigolant Viston. Artificial represents Crigolant Viston. Okay. All right, guys. Do I got any calls? I'm the last call for the calls. Well, I got 20 more minutes left. I don't know. We have any new information? Anything out there? I'm losing it. I'm losing the ability to provide you with more information. It's kind of like mandatory that I do that if we're going to keep the show going. Drugs are bad, says Mr. Mackey. Mr. Kodo, 19. Youth Heroic. That's my guy. Youth Heroic. How you doing, Youth? You supposed to got that shout out for me over there. I think we brought up some interesting topics tonight. This has been a good show as far as information. Once again, our condolences go out, definitely. Wholeheartedly, my condolences go out to the family of the people who are affected. I know I sound like Obama. Hope he really means it. I know I really mean it. I just don't know what the solution is. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what could have changed. The only thing I know that would have changed it is if Chris Harper Mercer hadn't done it. If he hadn't done it. I know for a fact it would have been prevented if he decided not to do it. And that's the real bottom line, isn't it? If we can make people love other people and not hurt people, shit. Good luck with that. I mean, people have been hurting people since the beginning of time. So, take it from me, Tim Black, a guy who came in kind of liberal. Now is a lot more conservative, at least when it comes to gun rights. I'll play devil's advocate, but I would never tell a person that they don't need a gun because I don't want to be the one. I would never, I'm not watching you. I got your back figuratively. I ain't there with you when you walk to your car at night, when you tucking your babies in. So, that being said, I can't say you got to get rid of your gun. And Ray, or I don't know, hate to use your name, Julio, but Julio and I don't know, Asian gang members, I don't know any of them, or Jeremy, can't get laid, wants to kill people for it, I don't know, hates Christians, hates blacks, I don't know, hate group guy, I don't know, skinhead dude, I don't know. But nothing I say is going to change them. Nothing. So, somebody got to shoot them first. I don't know. And are we living in a TV fantasy when we think that that's what's going to happen? Now, I've covered a couple stories where concealed weapons people have shot the bad guy. I've covered those stories. I don't get them all the time because you know what? They don't happen a lot. Right. We got a lot of gun owners, but you know what? Very rarely do I have stories of gun owners shooting bad guys. I'd love to have more of them. Hell, they get them. I've got 2 of them on my channel. 3. 2 of those that I have over 500,000 views. I mean, people love that story, man. They love it. Oh, man. The bad guy got what coming to him. The good guy shot the bad guy and then put a cherry on top because the good guy didn't go to jail for it. Oh, man. It's like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of somebody. I don't know. It's like I don't know, Massage from Holly Berry, and I don't know. I always had things about Holly, back in the day anyway. I used to like Tisha Campbell. Anyway. Bottom line is this. These are women I grew up with. Like Thelma from Good Times. Like, Thelma, Good Times. I mean, that's how they feel about this scenario playing out in their heads that, that my son's like, Dad, playing out in their heads that the bad guy gets shot by the good guy, gets the drop on him, and then the good guy don't go to jail. I mean, come on. That's what America's built on, that idea, that thing, that's a movie of the week. It's Charlie Bronson and the few, it's these, come on, guys. That's the thing they've been shoving in our heads since day one. That shit hardly ever happened, dude. What happens more often? You lose your job. You start drinking a lot. Your wife gets on your nerves. She's pissed at you. You pissed at her. Y'all fight over money. Right? She cheats on you. You shoot her. Then you shoot yourself. That's typically what happens, That's typically what happens. Or you eat your gun. That happens a lot more than you get the drop on him. You get the bang out. You shoot. You aim it sideways and get him as he comes through the door. I'm just keeping it real with you. Do we want real? We don't want real. Come on, we want to believe that we control our shit. We control destiny. We got a lot of people out there thinking that they gonna do some good by getting their gun, and sometimes they just don't, guys. Sometimes they just don't. Sometimes they end up being the one who leave their gun unattended, and the kid gets the gun, and then they crying because now they gonna get sent to jail because the kid shot. You know what? I could do that story a lot more often than I can do the story of the bad guy getting the drop or the good guy getting the drop on the bad guy. I bet you I can do a lot more stories about kids getting guns and shooting their damn self from their parents who thought they was protecting their home. Then their spouse take the gun and kill them with it. I did that story too. Or the intruder comes in and takes your gun. He didn't have a gun. He took your gun and killed you with your own shit. I did that story too. There's a lot of stories out there. I'm just saying, there is no perfect storm. At the end of the day, there's just as much argument on both sides of this thing. That's all I'm saying. That being said, I ain't going to tell you what you can own and can't own. Who am I? Who am I? And you know what? And who am I? I mean, as long as you know what you're doing, I mean, you got it, right? You know what you're doing, right? I will tell you this. The story I did about in the workout video a couple of days ago where I said I was with Mike and the guys had the drop on us and they had masks and we didn't see him and they robbed us. Well, Mike had a gun that night. He just didn't have no time to reach for it. And I'm so glad he didn't reach for it. Because then I wouldn't know who my son is. And my son wouldn't know who I am. You understand? Or do I want to think that Mike would have been so swift, such a great shot? He'd have shot all 4 or 5 of them before they got off any shots themselves into the vehicle. I don't know. I'm done unless you guys got something. You done too? All right, guys, do me a favor. I need you to go to Facebook. I need you to subscribe. I need you to join my group, Speak On It group. It's where we talk about things. If you're watching on Meerkat, I need you to go to Facebook, Speak On It group. I need you to be here tomorrow because we have a show every day. This is part of the 90-day challenge. I challenge to myself to do a show every day. Let's make awareness, spread awareness, and also, you know what? Tell the truth. Tell the truth and no spin. No one here who watched the show tonight can say I'm all liberal, I'm all in the tank for the liberal. Oh, he's all in the tank for the Republicans. I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know if it's a good marketing ploy, but it's really how I feel. All I can do is speak how I really feel. I'm open to suggestion. I'm open to change. I'll listen to your argument. Let this be a platform for you as well. Joy uses it. Rob uses it. You can use it too. Call up. That's what this channel is about. If you like independent media, not people shouting down from the heavens and telling you what to think, but independent media where we have a conversation where you can be a part of the message, then maybe you should support it. You don't want your media being brought off by other companies. Maybe you should fund it. Tim Black here. This is my job. I do this every day. I get up, I work out, and I look up stories, and I read information. That's what I do. This is my life. Fund me before somebody else does. I'm just joking, but I'm not. Or am I? Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll be here tomorrow at 9 p.m. like I said. Thank you, TJ, for being my camera guy. Thank you, everybody who called in, everybody who left messages in the chat, except for that one bastard I had to block. That loser, that worm, that parasite, leaving crappy comments in my chat. All right, I'm out of here. Before I go, one last time, let's make sure we bring it down a notch real quick. I don't need no theme music for this. I don't know the names of I do not know the names of the victims today, but tomorrow I will do a video once those names are released, a video for those people. We talked about everything today except those victims. That's only because I do not know the names of those victims. Tomorrow I will. Tomorrow there will be a video. It will not be monetized. All right? Support independent media. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good show.